we? Why aren't we? Why are we? Why aren't we?
Why should we?
Could we? Should we?
All right, let me share this shit.
Broadcast.
What are you prodding with the cast?
Wow, we don't show up at all on YouTube. Gotta type in a whole fucking thing. I'm subscribed and it still doesn't suggest it.
It should be the first thing because we're live and you're subscribed. Oh, God.
Travis Dunn, welcome. Got it. Top chat. All live chat is visible. That's what I like to see, baby.
Give me all that chat.
Are we recording it?
Yes. Calm yourself.
Well, I'm going to wait till the last second to do my phone video then.
No, just start it right now.
I've already ended it.
Just start it right now. I'm just sharing the fact that we're live so that people can watch us. Otherwise, they're like, what the fuck is going on? I don't know what I'm doing.
Nostalgic.com.
Nostalgia Dangus.
Zale. Sup, Sarloon?
What up, bitches?
Ain't you nothing but a Twi'lek.
I don't know what that means.
Rural farm boy, you son of a bitch.
Is he back? Fine. I've been waiting for your ass for like 6 months. God damn it.
Waiting for his ass.
Share. I swear, I promise I'm almost ready. Boom.
He's lying. I don't believe you.
I don't believe you. Here's the entire plot of all the movies. No.
No.
No. It can't be.
Okay, kids, let's go.
There has been an awakening. Have you felt it?
Hello, what have
I hope
we
someone
here?
walks by my office window right now as I'm just doing it.
Holy
I can't see what's going on.
Thanks, C3 penis face and R2 dickhead.
Hello there.
Looking? Found someone you have, I would say.
May the force be with us. Fucking A.
Good motherfucking day, motherfucking galaxy. Rogue Squadron Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in.
We're here. It's real.
It's real.
It's actually happening. I don't believe you.
I don't believe you.
Sorry, we have a habit of starting to quote things before we actually start streaming, and Mopar was quoting episode 2 when Dooku revealed, here's the plot of everything. Here's everything that's ever happened. No, I don't believe you. Fucking Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan's so trashed at that point in the movie, he's not going to remember any of it. Like,
No.
fucking with me. You're trying to make me pay for your bar tab, Dooku, and I ain't having it because I know you're a drinker too.
I heard Qui-Gon used to have to pick up your tabs all the time. I ain't trying it.
Doesn't trickle down, not that way.
Where in the world are you at today, Mopar?
Up in Cuyahoga Falls.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's not too far.
No, not too bad. I just have something in the morning, so I usually get up here and chill, and then try to fucking get at it. So, yeah.
And tonight we're recording, so you don't get to chill. You get to record, and we're recording late.
Sure.
Why? Why are we recording late?
Because Squadrons.
We wanted to spend all Sunday playing Star Wars Squadrons.
You know, I started a new Skyrim character.
I was wondering how long after the release date of Squadrons someone was going to say, oh, actually, I started Skyrim again.
Well, you know, Glass Armor constantly. Like, right after work, she boots it up and usually plays for a little bit.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I have a few extra dollars. I'm going to buy the digital copy of Skyrim finally so we can both play at the same time. And luck have it.
Luck had having it.
Luck have it. It was finally down to at least the $40 instead of the full 60. So I was like, oh, I'm going to capitalize. And then, of course, you know, Sunday it wasn't quite as sunny. It was a little chilly. So I was like,
yeah,
it's Skyrim time. But Yes, Squadrons is on board, on deck, and ready to go, and I love it, man. It's fun. It's a difficult game.
Yeah, so that's going to eat up the majority of our conversation tonight. So we're happy that it's out. Looks like Mopar continually knows how to read. He's, for non-video folks, he's holding up Republic Commando 000, book number 2 in the series, if I recall correctly.
Yeah,
Second book. Click.
I'm literally crawling through it. I haven't spent a lot of time on it, but I am still working at it. I also did. I forgot that I downloaded not Dark Rendezvous.
Ooh.
Labyrinth of Evil on
nice.
on Audible.
I ain't read that shit since grade school, man.
Yeah, I booted it up. Just a heads up, if you guys want a very good, quick book on Audible, I think the entire book's only like 5.5 hours.
Oh, nice. That's good.
So it's a real quick listen. I'm almost done with it. I started it this morning on my drive, and I was about 2.5 hours, and I was already a half hour into the book. So yeah, trudging through that. Not nearly as good as everybody is claiming, but it's great.
It was great in high school when I read it.
Yeah, on surface level, they do talk about a lot of like behind the scenes. If you're a fan of any Order 66 shit.
Yeah, the main thing I remember is, doesn't Anakin like collapse an entire Coliseum with his mind?
Well,
that's what I
remember.
Come on,
I'm not done with it yet.
You've read it before.
We read it. Remember
back in the day, man, like 15 years ago.
I'm not 100% sure I read that one all the way. Maybe I did.
I mean, it's not really
it doesn't
a spoiler.
feel. Yeah, it doesn't feel familiar, to be honest. But a lot of happenings behind with the Dooku's, and they talk about Grievous's role quite a bit. And the Jedi were on the trail of Sidious, quite closely on the trail. You know, we see episode 3, and they still seem kind of lost in the darkness. And in that book, I mean, they're close. Mace and Yoda are like, yeah, they were here 20 minutes ago. Where the fuck did they go? And you're like, wait a second. Ooh. Jesus. Yeah,
that's a lot more interesting than the dark side of the Force has clouded our vision.
Yeah, they're much closer to Sidious's trail. Yeah, I mean, there was like a meeting between Dooku and Sidious on Coruscant to discuss everything that's happening. Yeah. And literally the next scene is Mace and Yoda standing in that same spot, and they're analyzing like shit. You're like, dude.
Oh, wow.
Close.
That might be worth a reread or a re-listen. Speaking of Audible, you know what I didn't realize until just like a month ago? You can cash in your Audible books within 1 year. So like if you've bought an Audible or claimed an Audible book with a credit, as long as it's within 12 months, you can sell it back and take it out of your library to get a credit back.
What?
Yeah. So once you listen to Labyrinth of Evil, cash it back in, and then you can buy another Star Wars book.
Do you need the so there's 2 levels of membership on Audible now. I wonder if that's the top one that does that.
I don't know. Whichever one I have, I guess. So
it's like a digital library, man. A full digital library. Send it back and give me another one.
Well, because I'll forget I even have Audible, and then I'll go in like if we're about to travel or something. I'll go in to check, and I'll be like, oh, I got 7 credits. Let me buy 14 things. Well, that doesn't make any sense. And then I'll read one of them. And then the next time I check in, I'm like, I didn't read any of these books, and I'm probably not going to, so I'm just going to cash them all in, get something new.
Yeah. I've been on and off with the Audibles. You know, sometimes I just cannot do the audio books. I zone out way too much during a drive. You know, there's so much shit to pay attention to. But this, Labyrinth of Evil just felt right. I've tried so many times to get into it, and it felt difficult at first, and then today I was like, oh wait, that's only 5 hours. Let's fucking power through this. I might be able to get through it. So
yeah, I know John Simone was in the Facebook group talking mad love about those old prequels books, kind of highlighting Anakin and the Chosen One and his fall to the dark side.
You know, they do. So the one really good thing that I do like about Labyrinth of Evil is they do kind of get in behind the scenes of the Sith happenings, and they even mention the one and only Darth Bane in Labyrinth of Evil.
Wow, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
God damn, I got some shit to catch up on.
Yeah, and it's kind of just like Dooku's in his own mind thinking about how the Sith have gotten where they are, and it's like from the beginnings 1,000 years ago with the Rule 2, Darth Bane, and it's cultivated to where we're at now, and it's time, and they feel good. And they were kind of discussing from Dooku's point of view, I think, how it's actually good that the Jedi are at their peak of power because they're so blinded now and arrogant that if they were still struggling or not quite at their peak, I think their judgment wouldn't be quite as clouded. But Dooku makes a point that he knows everything's going to work because they put so much of their
energy, focus,
so much of their midichlorians into the idea of the Chosen One. Okay. They're vested so hardly into the Chosen One, and that the Chosen One is and will be this Anakin, that it's going to be their collapse regardless. So, yes.
You can't see what I'm doing on my phone because of the green screen, but I am
Labyrinth of Evil.
Getting Labyrinth of Evil on Audible right now.
Yeah, highly recommend it. Yeah, it's a good quick read.
God, Anakin's face in this is just foretelling of everything that's ever happened.
That's the other thing. Yeah, I mean, that's peak Star Wars. Let me just say that right now. It's Anakin and Obi-Wan and the clones and the darkness and the clouded shroud of the dark side and Sidious and it's that prequel. It's the prequel setting up to the original trilogy. It's a crazy time. It really is, and it's exciting to go back and be refreshed on that stuff, even though it's Legends.
And like we said 14 times last episode, it's as far as the content that was coming out in Star Wars at that time, that's like peak Star Wars for us. Because I forgot about the Darth Bane mention, but as you reel that off, I'm remembering. I think that's when my obsession with Dooku began. Was reading Labyrinth of Evil, and you're actually getting some thoughts and stuff in Dooku's head. I think that's where my obsession began. So it makes perfect sense.
Let me ask you something though. Something I didn't quite realize how transparent Sidious was with Dooku. So in that, actually, I think during that meeting that I discussed that Yoda and Mace find out about, during that meeting between the two Sith Lords, Sidious legitimately says to Dooku that we are grooming Anakin.
Ooh.
And he's going to become an apprentice. And Dooku doesn't even, he hesitates for a second. He's like, okay, I get it, basically. But you're like, I didn't realize Dooku was informed about all this. Obviously, we're talking 2 months later. It's his demise against
I was going to say that makes his decapitation mean so much more.
Yeah. Well, I guess I might be spoiling my own story because I don't remember quite the end.
Anakin becomes Darth Vader. That's the spoiler.
Oh, fuck.
Sorry, man, but I just had to let you know.
But in that meeting, Sidious tells Dooku, "Go kill Obi-Wan. Go kill Obi-Wan, and if Obi-Wan dies, it'll be Anakin's demise because he's a father figure."
Yep.
And obviously, Dooku has his own struggles because it's his apprentice's apprentice. There's some ties there.
It's like his grandson, basically.
Yeah. So no, they get into some deep stuff. It's fun. But that's kind of where I left off. Nice. They build up. They do the Cato Nemoidia for the 9th time, 10th time, 44th time.
That business doesn't count. It doesn't count.
So if you do want to know what that Cato Nemoidia quote is from episode 3,
it's
the book starts on Cato Nemoidia. Some fun stuff. Highly recommend it. I'm done chatting about it. So.
Good shit. No, I actually just used my last credit on Audible. I'm gonna listen to it.
Yeah.
I don't think I can read anything else right now. I'm so balls deep in Game of Thrones, and those books are so fucking long. I don't think I can pull myself away to read anything else. But I'll just treat Audible like it's a podcast, and I'll listen to it that way. I think that
takes a lot of mental strain, mental focus to even absorb everything of Game of Thrones. Even if watching it, you're like, wait a second, whoa, who's aunt and cousin? Fucked a brother,
dude. Watching certain episodes after you read those scenes in the book is very rewarding. They're really good, man. They did a fantastic job with that show for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a lot to absorb. Every very minor house has an entire backstory and lineage and coat of arms and everything. So there's a lot. But I just got past the point where Joffrey dies at the wedding with Marjorie, which in the book is at the very end of book 3. In the show, it's like halfway through season 4. So that's about where I am. I'm almost done with Storm of Swords. Okay. And then moving on to the next. But
welcome, Mogan Lars and Roll and Zale and everybody that's live with us. That's awesome.
Glad to have you guys here.
Logan asked, did I finish a book or just begin? Both, if you want to get into it.
Oh.
Well, I haven't finished it yet, but I'm literally like, I would say a half hour away from the end of Labyrinth of Evil. Half hour to an hour, maybe. So I'll probably finish that up today. Audiobook, by the way, Logan.
But also, you did just finish the First Republic Commando a week or two ago.
I mean, that was probably 2 months ago now.
Well, we talked about it.
Yeah, we discussed it. Yeah, so I'm on to the second one. I have that whole series. I do plan. I mean, that's I carry it with me. So if I do feel the need to read, that's what I grab. So
I think this is the third one.
Yep. 000.
So 000 takes place on Coruscant most of the time, I think. If I'm remembering correctly.
It jumps around. I mean, I'm only on page like 60, 70 or something like that, and it's jumping around.
Only on page 6.
So, yeah. Nice. Side note before we really get into squadrons.
Rogue Squadron.
Squadrons.
Super Squadron.
I don't know what I was going to say.
The preface just distracted your entire thing.
You started sniffing the book and my mind went really weird. I was like, why is
it's the best smell in the world, honestly.
I know.
It's the best smell in the world.
So I just Googled Star Wars, and of course Squadrons came up, and I was watching some YouTube videos and that sort of thing. But it jumped into YouTubers react to Fallen Order. And it was the end scene of Fallen Order. And spoiler, Darth Vader comes out.
Yeah.
But, wow. Does it hit a lot harder? Watching other people react to it for the first time. I was surprised, but I kind of expected it. Because I think I saw the commercial before I finished the game.
Yeah.
Because Darth Vader's in the goddamn... Why would they do that?
Also, it's almost like it's Star Wars. Like Darth Vader's probably going to show up.
Yeah, but
the very first cutscene of Squadrons was, that's Darth Vader. In case you didn't know this was a Star Wars game, there he is.
Yeah,
just in case.
But I mean, they hardcore focus on the Inquisitors. I mean, you kill one of them. The other one's a fallen Jedi of Seer, and that's like that. You're building towards that battle, and then of course she starts like coming around, and you're like, what? How's she gonna come? And then you just hear a breath, and you're like, everything's fucked. Everything's fucked. It's such a like the cinematics behind it. They did a great job on that, and it really watching those reaction videos makes me want to play it again. At least the last half of the game.
I might, because I'm just gonna say, we'll get into Squadrons later, but my gaming skills are very rusty right now. So I don't know if I could struggle through that game on the hardest difficulty, but it might be fun to play through it on super easy just for the story.
Yeah. Well, just
get some of those new. They released some new content around May 4th, so maybe just get some new outfits and then just breeze through it just to get the story again. Because I get the gist of it, but there's a lot of shit on Dathomir that I'm like, I can't remember who that guy was. It should have been Darth Maul, but it wasn't. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, it should have been Darth
Talon
Maul.
Mirkos or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, Marcus Aurelius. I don't know. So. It's not good enough.
Sorry. I haven't seen Gladiator in forever, man.
Oh, I watch that quarterly.
Talk about a classic.
I keep up with it.
That was the word of the episode last week.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterly. Yep. Got to get in that Gladiator and a new Skyrim character quarterly at a minimum.
Gladiator, Skyrim, and Caddyshack. That's on the docket.
Not just Skyrim, a new Skyrim character quarterly. Absolutely.
I went ballsy and completely deleted all saves of Skyrim. I started looking at it. I'm like, there's 300 of these fucking things, and I don't know which one's which. So I was like, you know what?
Damn.
Control Alt Delete. I'll start brand new because it's like fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna go back and. I had one. All of them are named after Sith lords. I had like an Argonian named Plagueis, like running around. Whatever.
Argonian named Plagueis. Yeah, that's a risky, man. I remember for me that would only happen when I decided to switch consoles. Like we would
Yeah.
go from PlayStation to Xbox, and I would lose everything. We'd have to start from scratch. Remember, all the good Mass Effect 3 multiplayer shit that I did have was on PS3. So I never quite got to that level when we switched back over to Xbox. But still a good game.
Yeah, good day, Galaxy. So,
Welcome everybody.
I wonder how Jedi Fallen Order would hold up. I know we've ranted and raved that there's probably close to no replayability on the game.
Yeah,
but it's not a bad story. It's a fun and the characters are fine. Cal Kestis is he's fine. It's fine. The epic part of it is how it does fold into Vader's story just a touch. It folds. It's direct in line with Order 66. You play back and you're like, fuck. Cal Kestis's mentor, his master, was killed during.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, this is blowing my mind right now. So it might.
And then
be
a
fun
few
to see
months
that.
later, Clone Wars finishes up with Order 66.
You know
Just
what?
get prequels up the wazoo this year.
Yeah, Fallen Order does something else really great, and it legitimizes how tough the Empire is. Like the troops, the droids. Well, of course, we played it on a hard level.
I think I think part of that is just the style of game. But I know what you mean, because you watch Rebels and like Ezra defeats a bunch of stormtroopers by like tapping them on the shoulder.
Yeah. But it is fun. It's fun to see like the enemy actually be an enemy, because I don't see that a lot.
Yeah, they're threatening.
Outside of Order 66 and the actual Sith Lords, the enemies are a joke. The battle droids are a joke. The stormtroopers are a joke.
Yeah, but in Fallen Order, you walk into a room and there's like 3 stormtroopers. You're like, oh god damn it! All right, here we go.
Yeah,
let's do this.
Or it's like 2 purge troopers, and you're like, fuck me. This is gonna take an hour to get past 2 purge troopers. It was fun. It did a good job of legitimizing the enemies, and just adding to the lore of the Empire, adding different troops, adding the purge troopers, seeing the Imperial droids in action, the K2SOs. It's cool. It was fun.
Purge Troopers dope. Yeah. What do you think? I guess if we're thinking about the sequel, because they are going to make a sequel, you think we're going to continue with Cal Kestis, like new storyline, filling in the gaps before Episode 4? Because I wonder.
You know what?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll try not to forget mine.
If we play Jedi Fallen Order 2 and you get to play as Ahsoka, just think about it.
Yeah.
Just think about it, though.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be perfect?
That would be perfect. And that, or like as like a bonus level,
No,
just
play
have her
straight
fight.
as her.
No, not the whole time.
Yeah, to play, dude. You could base it on like the Ahsoka book. Like she does kind of some cool stuff, and she gets different lightsabers, and she struggles a lot because she plays it so low key and under cover that she doesn't even use force powers half the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's fun, man.
I mean, yeah, anything with Ahsoka would be great. I was thinking more like that would be a bonus. So she would like fight with you in the last mission or something, or you would meet her and she'd be like, in your party or something.
Yeah. No, I get it. That's one thing that they did completely miss out in the first one.
Yeah.
You get you get the smoke show witch, and she's with you for like 20 minutes, and you're like, dude.
She stands on the ship.
Yeah.
She helps you in that boss fight, but then she doesn't fight
That's
with you.
it. That's it. Yeah.
And she just hangs out.
I was like, dude, I finally got someone that's good.
They're going to fall in love in the second one.
What was the pilot's name? Ketchup?
All I remember from him is he says, take some seat. And I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Take some
What
seat.
sentence is that?
Have some seat. Yeah.
Have some seat. This is a good seat you have here.
This is great. What is his name? Ketchup?
No, I honestly
Grease.
don't know.
Grease?
Grease?
Grease, maybe. Yeah, something like
Someone answer. Shinobi, where are you when I need you?
Yeah,
Analysis,
seriously,
please.
why are you around if you're not here now?
So the reason I brought up a plot for Fallen Order 2 is because I was going to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
We have Ahsoka, who is somewhere in the background, who pops back up in Rebels for the Alliance. We have Cal Kestis and Seer. And then knowing the Mando going into Season 2, he obviously is going to try to get Baby Yoda to the Jedi. So these are all Jedi or former Jedi that are in hiding behind the scenes under what we know about Luke Skywalker in the original trilogy. So, like, they could really spend a lot of time developing all of these plot lines, intertwining them, and there's, like, some secret underground Jedi Order that nobody knows about except for, like, Ahsoka and Cal Kestis.
Maybe Ahsoka and Cal Kestis are the beginners of this underground order, and that's part of what they're trying to do is get everybody back on the same page to some certain level, and maybe, you know, they do get in touch with, you know, select other brand new Jedi that we've never heard of. Who cares? But you know, gets
Luke,
everybody.
though.
Not Luke. Well,
why don't they want to fuck with Luke?
Just fuck him.
Why don't they? I guess the question is, it depends on how they write this. But if they're gonna have a whole story with all these Jedi that are in hiding, like, why don't they reach out to Yoda? I guess they don't know about Yoda. Why don't they reach out to Luke Skywalker? I guess they just think he's a moisture farmer on Tatooine. So,
you know what would be the biggest and best story of all time?
Tell me.
Is Ahsoka coming across Luke Skywalker, being so close to his dad. Yeah. Just that interaction and the relationship between Ahsoka and Luke. And I even feel like Ahsoka would be very, very hesitant. Like, is this guy going to do the same fucking thing? He's pretty brash, irrational. He hates
him away
sand
from
too.
the younglings. Keep him away.
Doesn't
from
like
the,
sand.
No. Give him the power converters that he needs and keep him away from the younglings.
And his sister. Keep him away from his sister. Jesus.
Yes, Christ, God.
Cripes.
Cripes.
Yeah, I think that would be great, grand, and wonderful.
Yes, no yelling on the bus. Yeah, they could go so many ways with it, and it's going to bleed over into many different content types in Star Wars, because we're going to have Mando Season 2, we're going to have Fallen Order 2, Ahsoka's going to find her way in there. They could obviously write a comic series with Ahsoka.
She is the bridge to everything. If we're going to do an Obi-Wan series, come on, throw that bitch in there. Dude, name it. Is there a game that we can play as Ahsoka? No. You can't play her in Battlefield. You can't play her in any of them.
Battlefield? Not Battlefield? Not Call of Duty?
Not Call of Duty. Not Tetris. But you can't play her in Battlefront and any of the Battlefront. She's not even a special character in the old ones. Like, you threw Kit Fisto in there?
No.
Yes. You threw Asajj Ventress in the original second one?
Wasn't that a mod? I didn't know that was official DLC.
It was a DLC.
I think that was a mod.
Nope, it was a DLC. Look it up. I've never been wrong.
Wings. You got
I've never been wrong.
Thought wings going on over here.
I don't.
I only say that because we didn't know about DLC back then for Xbox, so we didn't. I never played as Asajj Ventress or Kit.
Asajj or Kit, yeah, because Kit had like a bubble that he could shoot. It was really weird. Asajj was basically Darkseid.
Yes, Shakira.
Ayla, yeah. She had the exact same attacks, so I don't think she was much different.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm with you. Playing as Ahsoka, reading about Ahsoka, watching Ahsoka, listening to Ahsoka. More Ahsoka content is great.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna see what's gonna happen. Mandalorian season 2, a couple weeks now. Live action Ahsoka. It's gonna blow our minds, or we're gonna be pissed. One or the other.
Yeah. And
or both at the same time, since we're Star Wars fans.
I know Zale. I saw it before Zale shared it because I'm a savage. But on that toy box of, I think it was a lightsaber, it showed a kind of a rendering of Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka, and it's like, man, we're getting close, getting excited because. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say Ahsoka on lightsaber box. I'm just gonna look for
Ahsoka lightsaber box toy.
Here it is.
Batteries.
See, it works. Included. Google knows what I'm looking for. It's like, oh, Star Wars stuff. Yeah, here you go. Find everything. Let me share this with you real quick. Yeah, here she is on one of the Star Wars Force FX boxes. So, yeah, it's like, here's your first depiction of Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka, and I'm like, yeah, it doesn't look like a. I don't know. To me, it almost looks like someone's trying to render Ahsoka as if it was live action instead of cartoon. It doesn't necessarily look exactly like Rosario Dawson to me, but I could be high right now. I don't know.
I mean, I think Rosario Dawson does look like that. She has the facial features, but again, I think I agree with you. It's just a standard rendering.
And if you're just listening, you might want to check out the live feed.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see her all done up. I mean, you throw the face tattoos on her, and anybody's gonna look like her. That's gonna be her characteristics. Her features are the face tattoos.
When they're crossing genres like that, they have a little bit of wiggle room. I mean, if they get the main features right, obviously you're going to know that it's Ahsoka. So it doesn't have to be verbatim. They have some room to play.
Mm-hmm.
So
there's going to be a lot of makeup, I imagine, and the tattoos and all that. So
yeah,
I mean that looks like a younger version.
I think
her headdress.
I think it's just photoshopping shit.
Yeah, this is terrible.
You are terrible. Anyways, yes. So Zale did share that in the chat. Thank you, Zale. Zale.
Zala. Anything else going on outside of squadrons before we get into that?
Oh man, I went camping last weekend. It was fun. It's cold. But fun. Yeah, that's my element, man. I just gotta say. Camping, set everything up, set the tent up, got the grill going, started a fire, poured a beer into my Yeti, and sat down. And I was like, this is my element. Good. I hadn't been in a while. And the last time we went camping, it was so hot, it was miserable.
Yeah, that's happened. Legitimately, like the past 5 times I've gone camping, it's like I'm sweating tits over here. It's, you go down to Kentucky in September and you're hoping, and it's like no. You're
hoping. Fingers crossed that.
Yeah,
I'm
it
not
was
in Kentucky.
it was so humid. I'd much rather have it cold, but yeah. I love it too. I love just starting a fire and sitting down. The smell of a fire is not only soothing right then and there, but it's also like nostalgic. It reminds me of my basement because my basement always smelled like a goddamn cabin.
And reminds me of camping trips when I was younger.
Camping trips when you're younger, or just having bonfires out back. DNR's house, or we do a little fire. So no, I feel it. They're always putting on like a jacket too, like a flannel. Something, having something to drink, and then staring at the flames or the sky.
Just sitting there listening to Pink Floyd, staring at the fire.
That's
it's good shit.
Just Pink Floyd on repeat.
Simple. No, it was good, man. It was good.
I did the same thing actually. I bought a little. I finally bought like a little Bluetooth radio.
Yeah.
First of all,
radio or a speaker?
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of fucking hard. It's hard as fuck to find. It's hard as fuck.
Okay, tell me about it.
To find a Bluetooth speaker with a radio tuner.
I think because no one that wants a Bluetooth speaker wants to listen to the radio. Who needs a radio?
Well, I did. First of all, I wanted it for my garage. I had an old school, like huge ass setup. For not a lot. It was like an early 90s setup. It sounded terrible. It took up a lot of fucking room, and it wasn't Bluetooth. I couldn't hook anything up to it, and the radio signal was half-assed. So it was all crackles. So I was like, I bought this at for $20 somewhere. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna upgrade. I'm gonna get something with Bluetooth and a tuner. And yeah, it took me probably 2 months to find one. Long story short, I got it for that. But we also went camping, so I brought that with me because it's obviously, got to charge. But I put on all the Pink Floyd albums on repeat. Boom. I did Dark Side first, went into Wish You Were Here, Wish I Could Talk, and then I went into
Wish Someone Was Over There.
It was good though. Yeah. That's funny that you said Humans, put on Pink Floyd. That's all you got.
Light Side of Mars.
I played a lot of Zeppelin, a lot of Floyd. That's all
that was it. Yes. We started with Grateful Dead, Grateful Dead / Dead and Company, kind of a combo there. And Floyd, Zeppelin. So, the problem with the radio, though, is that you still have to deal with ads every 12, 15 minutes.
I love it. It's nostalgic for me, again, because my dad would always, you go out to the garage, and the radio
WNCX.
I know. WNCX, always. And actually, there's a radio station,
give me 2 ad spots though, and then I'm like, that was nostalgic. Okay, never mind. I'm done.
I hear you. I kind of do it more as an ambient
Yeah.
Like I'll be out working on the car or, doing something, just fiddling
Sure,
around in
yeah.
the garage. So I'm
Yeah.
not even really listening until a good song comes on and I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, turn it up. But
Exactly.
yeah. So, yeah, all the used car ads and shit, it's like, whatever.
Yeah, like, are you serious right now?
Buy Dodges or not,
Or Toyota.
or purchase.
Toyota Mopar is the only option.
Uh,
Sorry, I'm a team. I love Mopar. I love you and the
Thank
car style. You're welcome. But as a new 4Runner owner, I gotta support the Toyota. Gotta support the Yodas. Radio's dead, Farm Boy says. And he should know. He's out in the rurals. Doesn't even
He's
have
out
an
in the
antenna
fields
anymore. Yeah.
He only gets the
What? The transmission from the oxen?
he's on AM radio with the Hispanic gospel music. That's all he gets.
Farm Boy, by the way, join the WhatsApp group or else. That's all I have to say.
That's all I have to say. We did that drinking game that I always did, where we go A through Z. We have to pick a song. We did that with my wife and my sister, but we did 90s only. Yeah, I wanted to go hardcore 90s on Saturday, and I was like, you know what? We're doing this. I'll start at A, but it has to be a song from the 90s. And it was like, holy fuck.
So what kind of 90s were you doing? Boy band stuff? You doing
anything?
Like alt rock? You doing rap?
There was a lot of alt rock, a lot of metal, because there's Metallica was big, and Pantera and that sort of thing.
Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park.
But yeah, there's so much. Yeah,
Korn.
I mean, you get into like Pearl Jam and
311.
Radiohead, and I actually played a Weird Al song from the 90s. I was like, this is
Rage
just
Against
hitting,
the Machine.
hitting. It's hitting the notes. It's hitting it.
It's scratching the itch, man. I know what you mean.
Scrapping that.
Wait, so you guys have a tent and camping gear and everything?
No.
Oh, you said you went camping. What are you talking about?
I didn't say we went camping.
Oh, I thought you did say when you went to Kentucky you went camping.
Oh yeah, we rented a cabin.
Cabin style. I see.
Always go with cabin.
Must be them rich folk.
Yeah, we spend money on it. I'm not sleeping on the ground. I'm not homeless.
Air mattress is good.
No, they're not.
It is.
We have an air mattress. They're not.
No, they're fine. They're better than the ground.
They're better
Not quite as good as a real bed. Better than the ground. So
yeah.
There's something about being in the tent. The smell of the vinyl on the tent is like that has its own nostalgia factor, along with the campfire. Okay, Camping Squadron Cast Pod is over.
And
we're done.
There is a sequel to it, though.
The sequel is about a new video game from the Star Wars universe.
That reminds me of nostalgic stuff. Talk about
Reminds
that.
me of nostalgic stuff. Yeah, X-Wing TIE Fighter is back with more buttons to push and makes it harder to play.
I'll tell you what. Let's just get into it. That's exactly what it is.
That's what everyone's saying. Every YouTuber I've watched do a review of Squadrons is like, did you guys used to play X-Wing versus TIE Fighter? Me too. This game is the same thing, but harder to play.
It
Everyone.
So yeah, spoiler alert. Go ahead if you haven't played. Well, I mean, when there's not much to spoil, you fly a ship, you blow shit up, and that's about it.
I haven't even really gotten that far into the story yet.
The story sucks ass. But I'm not gonna sit here and tell you to buy it for the story because it is not worth playing. It's a joke. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. It's a fucking joke.
Did you finish the whole campaign?
No, I couldn't. I got I got maybe halfway through. Dude, you can't even like be a character. It's so hardcore, those old X-Wing games, that you have conversations and then you just have to click your mouse on where you want to go.
See, I thought that was like nice and nostalgic. Like we were watching those cutscenes of like Kyle Katarn and shit, like in between the Dark Forces games or whatever. Like it reminded me of that for sure.
First of all, no. Dark Forces cutscenes were a lot better than this.
Okay.
This felt clunky. Look, guys, it's a good game, but the campaign is trash. I didn't get anything out of it. I quit it. I was done with it. I spent probably 2 hours on it. I mean, to get the feel of how to fly the ships.
Yeah.
It's not straightforward and upfront. It's you have to fucking fly this thing. It does truly
tough.
feels at points that it's like Forza in the sky. Like you're
Oh yeah.
you're there's so much to focus on.
Yeah, like you take all the assists off of Forza and play. That's how it is. Manual shifting, no traction control. Like that's how it feels.
It is, yeah, and there's so much to focus on, which makes it fun. There's a lot that you're gonna struggle.
Makes it fun, but it also makes it frustrating as shit.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten to the point where I feel comfortable.
Yeah,
I'm playing on the veteran level, so it's one step below the hardest level. And I get fucked up. It's fine. You're gonna be out there. You're gonna die. But I do feel comfortable with the mechanics of it, and so you can switch. So you have like a select amount of power in your ship, and you can have a balanced power between shields, your engines, and your lasers.
Yeah.
But you can toggle between those three.
Yep.
So if you want to focus in on your lasers, it'll allow you to shoot longer, and it won't have a cooldown.
Yep.
But you're going to be more vulnerable and slower. You can do the same thing with the engines and the shields. If you want to boost your shields, well, you ain't going to shoot and go anywhere, but your shields will be up.
Right. Unless
So
you're
you can toggle between that, which is nice.
Yes.
But even in that, you're looking at your shields. Let's focus in on the shields. Now you can put your shields to the front, or balanced, or you can put your shields to the back.
Yeah.
So there's so much. Like if you're attacking,
You're doing an attack run. Shields to the front.
So a capital ship.
On the approach, yeah.
Yeah, you want to throw your shields up front because you're just going to be barraged. Hopefully there's no one behind you because you're going to get fucked.
You're going to get fucked anyways because it's Star Wars Squadrons and it's hard to play.
It is. You're just dead. You're just dead anyways.
You're going to die. It's okay.
It's a fun game, guys. I feel bad because you have to play it to really understand.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can say. It's just you're thrown in this thing. It does feel a little clunky, but it's because you have to do everything. You have to move it. You have to steer it. You have to shoot it.
I wouldn't say it feels clunky.
It's a little slow.
It feels smooth. I just feel like it's hard to wrap your head around everything. Because I feel like the thing that always frustrated me about Starfighter Assault and Battlefront is that I felt like the ship wouldn't do what I wanted it to do. And in Squadrons, I at least know how to fly. Like flying feels natural, the controls feel very smooth, and I feel like I at least have a handle on maneuvering the ship around, which is very nice because like feeling like you can't move or evade or dodge or turn was very frustrating. So that part's good. So I wouldn't say it's clunky. I think it's just like there are so many options that it just takes a while to wrap your head around. It has to become second nature.
Well, it's like the throttle adds so much.
Yeah.
So you like in Battlefront in Starfighter Assault, you're automatically you spawn in and you're flying. You're going.
Right.
All you got to do is manage your direction of where you're going, and or you have a boost. Sometimes you can speed up. But the throttle level of full throttle, middle throttle, or come to a complete goddamn stop is all up to you. So it adds just such a basic aspect, but it's a constant thing on your mind. Like, how fast am I going? Should I slow down? Because that middle throttle, you have the highest maneuverability.
Right.
So if you're full throttle, you ain't going to be turning for shit. So if someone's right behind you, not only do you have to think, I'm going to throw my shields to the back,
you also have to slow down.
but also you have to slow down a little bit so you can turn better.
Right. And then you have to start evading.
Well, and if you're locked on, someone shot a missile at you. So now you're throwing shields around.
You got to do your
you're
countermeasures.
You're throwing down, and you got to consider countermeasures. And if you're turning left, are you turning towards a goddamn capital ship? Because then you're fucked anyways.
Right.
It's like there's so much. There's so much.
Those turbo lasers on the frigates, they don't fuck around, man.
No, they're
actually
you
try to make an approach on a capital ship, man. You're just gonna get shredded.
Yeah, if you're not prepared, and if you don't have the support ship around you, I noticed that in the multiplayer, the support ships, when I play against the AI, it doesn't give you any support. But in the campaign, it was kind of building you around the team aspect, which was the one good thing that I could hold Y and I would get shields and ammo from the support ship if I was within a certain range.
Nice.
But yeah, when you're on 5 versus 5, you're just good luck, baby.
It does feel. Every time I jump into a multiplayer match, it does feel like Overwatch, where it's like, oh, everybody's just playing DPS. It's like, great. I've played like probably like 6 or 7 multiplayer matches, and every time it's just 5 interceptors. Just like, great. What are you supposed to do? There's no support. There's no damage. Like, there's supposed to be a balance, and I think they built the multiplayer to really be balance focused. And like, you need a support ship, and then maybe a balance of like 2 interceptors and a fighter and a bomber or something, just to balance everything out.
Well, it's also depending on what you're doing right then. If you're only attacking, if it's you got to clear out the ships first, then there's going to be a lot of interceptors. But once you get rid of those ships and you're focusing on the raiders, now you need a little more like bombers and or support. Yeah, you need some. Yeah. So, what's your favorite ship? I haven't played as all of them yet, but what's your favorite ship so far?
I haven't done the support ships yet.
Me neither.
But as far as the other 6 go, I like the TIE Bomber the best. Which is funny because in Starfighter Assault, I like the TIE Bomber the best as well.
I think my favorite would probably be, I've got three favorites so far. Is the X-Wing.
You can't have 3 favorites. There's only 6 ships.
Well, that's half the field, baby.
I like half the ships all the same.
You know, it's weird though, because in Starfighter Assault, A-Wing, A-Wing, A-Wing. I will fuck anything up, any A-Wing. Catch me if you can. You're already dead because you can't. What? But in this one, the X-Wing feels so balanced, and I have decent amount of firepower. I have some missiles that I can deal with, and I've got the R2 unit, so I can heal my hull. I say if I had to pick one, probably the Y-Wing. I feel like I've got.
I don't think I've used the Y-Wing yet. Okay.
I think my favorite's the Y-Wing. I also have a rotary minigun upgrade on the front of it, so it takes like 2 seconds to spool up, and then, dude, it's fucking
That's
bananas,
insane,
man. Whatever's in front of me is no longer in front of me. it's fucked. Also, it has so it's one of its special abilities is like a mini Death Star gun. It's 2 lasers that shoot into one laser, and it's almost like the LSAT bubble gun, where it's just a constant beam.
Oh yeah, like a
laser
beam. Mm-hmm.
But this one, it's a half of that, and then half the Death Star, where it's like 2 lasers that go into one, but then it's a constant beam. Damn. It's a crazy. So the upgrades, they get really fun, man. You know what savage. This does? 1, it pisses me off. 2, it makes me feel like
it cost me another controller or 2 by the time I chuck it against the wall.
It makes me appreciate the pilots in Star Wars a lot more, and it's like on such a a basic level, but it's like they just made this game to be difficult, which is good. Yeah. But in making it difficult, I'm thinking, Poe did what in Episode 8?
Right.
How the flying fuck did he do that?
Well, they tried to make it as realistic as possible, as far as you can make something realistic that's space fantasy. But think about how difficult it is to race a car in Formula 1.
Yeah.
That's complicated as fuck. Okay, now add into the equation that you have to shoot people and you're getting shot at, and you have
and there's
shields.
No gravity. There's no gravity, so
no gravity.
You're not even nothing's even holding you in place. You're just floating through nonsense.
Yeah.
So it is really interesting that you can come to a full stop.
Yeah, that was a surprising. It's not really a feature, I guess. That's every ship can do that. It was just not what I expected. I figured you're just moving all the time, no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, that's the weirdest thing. The throttle adds so much to the game because you're constantly fucking with it.
They really thought it out, man. I will say, overall, regardless of how bad I am at the game, the fact that they focused in on something, especially it being EA and especially being a Star Wars game with their track record over the past 5 years, I think that says a lot. And I think they really did something that not every single Star Wars fan is going to enjoy playing.
Mm-hmm.
But at least every Star Wars fan, I think, can at least appreciate what they have created.
Which
is good.
I think this game does something. It breaks through or beyond a Star Wars game. Mm-hmm. This is a fun flying game. If you just really want to be balls deep into a starfighter attack flying game, this is your game.
Yeah.
There's a lot to focus on. There's a lot of upgrades. You can fly the Y-Wing for 12 matches in a row. You don't have to use the points on your Y-Wing. You can upgrade your X-Wing flying the Y-Wing.
Right.
You can spend the points however you want, which is a great piece. Because I was hoping, A lot of other ones, you upgrade each starfighter as you play them, and it's like,
Right.
no. I suck with the A-wing. I'm never going to get it upgraded, but
Yeah.
now I can. So
you get points. I haven't dove too deep into multiplayer as far as like upgrading stuff yet. I've only played a couple matches. So
the
it's
upgrades
like
are unique.
you get points for your pilot, not for each ship.
Right. And you can apply them to anything, and everything's 1 point. So it's not like there's certain features that are like 4 points because it's so strong. They're all 1 point, but they all do one thing.
Mm-hmm.
So let me get into the upgrades. The upgrades are great and they suck.
Well, yeah, it's
What do
all
I mean
it's
by
all
this?
balanced. It's like you
such a
increase your
balance.
firepower, but you decrease your maneuverability.
Yes, but
everything has a trade-off.
it's heavy debuffs. Like you'll
Really?
you'll upgrade your hull 10%, but you're going to be 30% slower. And you're like, fuck.
I'm already in
Is
a
that
bomber.
worth it?
Bring it on. Let's do it.
And mom fucked either way. It doesn't matter.
I'm just crawling.
I'm telling you, if you start reading all the debuffs that you get, it's like not
Yeah.
only are you 20% slower, but your hull's 20% worse. You just have better shields now, and you're like, is that worth it? Is this an upgrade? What the fuck am I doing?
From a certain point of view.
So, to piggyback off of the aspect one of it being a great just flying game, you don't have to be a Star Wars fan. But two, if they were charging $60 for this game, look, guys, it's a fun game.
I think that's why they dropped it down.
It's a fun game. I think it's not buggy. It feels good.
It feels super smooth.
But if they were charging $60 for this game, I probably wouldn't be quite as excited. $40 feels like the right. It's a
That's
surface
not the
level,
right way to say that, because
It's a surface level game.
Yeah, but you wouldn't know what it was until. I'm gonna retract. I wouldn't say it's surface level. It is in one lane. It sticks to its lane for sure, but it's not surface level because it's probably the most complicated Star Wars game we've had in a very long time. Like complicated in its own sphere. Like it tries to make flying as realistic as possible.
Yeah, but I mean, it's only multiplayer. You're not replaying that goddamn campaign. You're not even gonna get through it.
Imagine what they can do now. Imagine if they had Battlefront just focused on like FPS. And if they had Star Wars Squadrons just focused on space and aerial combat, and they can make both of those games detailed and complex in their own areas, and everybody, hardcore Star Wars fans can play both. People that like fight simulators can just play Squadrons. People that like shooters can just play Battlefront.
The issue is there is no plans for any type of upgrades or downloadable content or updates to this game at all.
Oh, really?
So it is
No,
very
wait.
surface level. There's no
plans
plans. Zero
or
plans.
Just not announced yet.
From my understanding from EA, there are zero plans for any updates to this game. The game is what it is.
Ouch.
That's a huge issue. If it was $60 and they were doing zero to it,
Well,
I'd
that's
be
why
pissed.
they can't. Yeah. See,
So-
that's really unfortunate, because what I was really hoping for was them for, even if they charged $10 or $15, if they released like a prequels pack, and it was 4 prequel ships, 4 Republic ships and 4 CIS ships,
Nubian.
and a bunch of new Nubians and pilots and skins and everything, and like 4 new maps, I would pay $15 for that for sure.
Absolutely. It just
And then the same thing
just like the
with-
Battlefield games.
Yeah, yeah.
You play it. You would. It's like, and then at the end you can do the whole buy. You buy a whole new game.
Yeah.
$60, you get all the DLCs.
Right.
Make it, yeah. But from my understanding, and I hope I'm wrong, but I heard that today that EA has no plans to do any updates to this game.
Highly unfortunate.
I agree. Now
Still
$40 feels worth it.
I know the CEO of EA Games is listening to us right now, and I tried to tell you to hire us like a couple months ago. All you have to do is hire us.
Do you want to win?
We'll give you all the good ideas. You could be the best game company in the world.
Put
It's
Darth
really
Bane.
easy. You
I
just
want to play as Kylo.
You just make good Star Wars content. Everyone's gonna love you. It's very simple. So simple. I know making games only takes a couple weeks. It's like super basic.
It's really easy, really.
I made so many games myself.
Yeah.
Well, that's a bummer. I mean, you crushed my spirits now. I'm gonna go uninstall a game.
It's a
and sell
fun
my
game.
Xbox.
If you want to fly around and struggle, that's the game to do it in.
We haven't had the opportunity to squat up yet, and that's the thing I'm most excited for. I think that's gonna. I feel like what I've been doing so far is like playing Overwatch solo, which is never fun for me. So I think multiplayer and the fact that there's cross-platform, I think that's going to be the ticket to keeping it interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So we should try to arrange said sessions sometime soon.
Try. I got to finish my Skyrim character first, but
That's true. Also, you probably don't have your Xbox with you tonight, do you?
no.
Oh, Squadron's on your phone? Is that on Android?
KOTOR is
How do you feel about the controls?
of Squadrons.
Like we've talked about how complicated it is. There's like many systems to check. There's many parameters you can change. But like as far as the control scheme, does it feel comfortable flying around?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there were ways to make it a little smoother, but the game is what it is. Just figure it out. I do like the use of the D-pad.
Yes.
With balancing through your different power systems. That's nice. I think it makes sense that your left trigger is your throttle.
Left stick, you mean?
Yeah, I'm sorry, left stick. I don't know. And it makes sense that the LBRBs are your special abilities.
Yeah.
The missile blocking precautions, whatever, on B, I can never, like, if it's getting real close, real quick, I'm just mashing buttons and I don't even fuck. I'm like, just stop the fucking thing.
Yeah.
But,
well, because you're using the right stick to try to evade. You try to turn left and right, and then to like take your thumb off of that to use countermeasures is annoying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
You can remap the whole thing though.
yeah,
You can recustomize the whole thing, and I know a lot of people that use PC are using joysticks and kind of customizing the whole setup that way.
I actually turned my sensitivity up like 20% because I felt like it was just slow. Maybe that's just the game, but I just like when I'm trying to turn, I felt like I'm not turning at all, and
Yeah.
it's 100% the game.
Yes.
No one's turning.
And that's the main thing I've been complaining about, and I think it's supposed to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like if I mash the joystick to the right, I feel like it takes like a nanosecond for the ship to actually start turning, and then it turns, and then when I let go, it takes a few seconds for it to like slow down and center back on like my target.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like I'm just kind of bobbing back and forth a little uncontrollably. So it just takes some getting used to that way. So I try to raise the sensitivity, but I think they're trying to make it that way on purpose.
Yeah,
Like I feel like
you
if you're trying to turn the entire ship, like there's gonna be a little bit of lag, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, just thinking about it mechanically, like if you turn a car, you're physically turning the tires on the ground, so it's like you're driving left. In a ship, like if you're turning left, you're like boosting the opposite way to kind of drift. You know what I'm saying? Like there's the lack of gravity might have a huge aspect in flying. Like you're not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So yeah, I'm trying to chalk it up to like that's how ships maneuver, and I just have to get used to that because I want to like move right, and the ship instantly just like do exactly what how I'm maneuvering on my controller. But there's a little bit of lag, and I think you just have to get used to it.
Every ship, I don't care if you're in the A-wing or whatever, everything feels clunky. Well, slow.
Mm-hmm.
Like even when you're going fast, which is funny, I'm boosting. I feel like I'm not going anywhere. That does show a little bit, or gives you an idea of how big the fields are. The space battles, man. You spawn at your capital ship. If you're fighting against the other capital ship, dude, it's gonna be like a 3-minute flight into battle. Yeah. You're like, and you're boosting. You're just going all balls walls.
All of balls as walls.
But yeah, it's a fun game. $40. I'm happy with the $40, man.
I'm happy that they decided to focus up and make a very specific game for specific people and focused on that and didn't try to please everybody. So I guess that's the drawback. It's like, yeah, in some ways we're limited. It's just space combat, and if they don't add any DLC, that's a huge bummer. But on the other hand, they focused in on a very narrow window of content, and they were able to make it really, really polished. And that's a huge thing, especially for the track record of Star Wars games. So, I don't know. It's a love-hate, I guess, if you come down to it.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. It does legitimize Chewie's worth in the Falcon. Jesus.
Dude. See, that would be fucking... Oh, my gosh. All right, you know in Battlefield where you had a commander, Battlefield 4.
Yep.
Can you imagine if they introduced larger ships and you had the Millennium Falcon and you had to have another actual player as the co-pilot doing things to help coordinate how you fly the fucking Falcon? Because imagine how, like, you see how complicated it is now to do the X-Wing. Imagine if you're in the Millennium Falcon, which is like 6 times the size. You got to have that co-pilot role, man.
You need a co-pilot. You need someone to actually shoot the guns. You need a whole team to run this thing.
Yeah, the Falcon needs like 6 people just to do anything.
Someone's taking a nap. Someone's ironing the skirts. What?
And the Falcon itself has an intelligence, obviously, as we know.
True. It's true. It's true.
The most peculiar dialect.
God. Still, one of the best things about Solo is giving the Millennium Falcon a personality.
I might watch that.
Oh man, I might too. I was thinking
so
about what
good.
there's no basketball on tonight, no nothing, and I was like, what am I gonna do tonight? I'll probably just pop on some Star Wars on my phone and go for it.
I have a dilemma that I'm trying to, come to terms with my forthcoming child. So I want to do an experiment where you can introduce somebody to a specific generation of Star Wars and see how they react to it. Like imagine if someone's never seen Star Wars before and you start them with the sequel trilogy. Would they fall in love with the franchise just as much as if you started them with the original or the prequels?
I mean, look at this whole generation of kids. All the kids are Star Wars fans. There's kids in my neighborhood that scream, "This is the way!" Like this.
That's all I needed to hear. This show is
no
over.
joke. Yeah,
That's
and
all
I actually have a 3D printed mythosaur, the Mandalorian
Yeah.
mythosaur, hanging up in my garage. And they say, "Mr. Paul, is that a Mandalorian?" I'm like, "What the fuck do you think this is? I'm not fucking around." And then I kick the kid. But it's like they know. It's crazy that they know what it is. They're like 7-year-olds running around. This is the way. Like, so it speaks for itself. I think, yeah, a kid's just, you'll latch onto what's going on. You don't want to watch a movie from 1977. You have to
sometimes you do, though.
I think once you're a fan.
That's what I was concerned about. That's what I was conflicted about. It's like I want to kind of like test things out and like start someone fresh in 2020 with a movie from 1977 and see if they love it as much as everybody did back then. But at the same time, like I can't wait until my kid is like old enough to watch and judge Star Wars. She's going to be watching Star Wars from the moment she's like 3 seconds old. I'm going to have it on like at the hospital as soon as she's born. So I don't know. My experiment's going to fail. She's going to know all Star Wars all the time from day one.
What about the theory that do you truly believe that if Anakin did fall to the dark side, Padme would have just lived? Because losing the will to live, we gloss over that, but that's a weird aspect of episode 3 that she's just really, really fucking tired right now.
Being senator is really hard. She's very exhausted. What is the general consensus on cause of death? I feel like we've talked about that before. It's like Palpatine killed her.
I think she literally the Force left her. I think I really think that everybody's Force sensitive to a certain degree, and it just she was willing to give everything up to make sure the kids are okay, and to protect the kids from what Anakin had become.
Yeah,
so she just
gave her life to the kids.
Just gave her life force into the kids, just like get them to safety. I'm done. Peace out. Because there's nothing else to live for. Anakin's gone.
Yeah. Fucking Anakin.
Yeah, I think it was what triggered that question was one of the reaction videos of episode 3. Someone was like, "Oh my God, she's dying because Anakin fell to the dark side," and I was like,
I think that's what you're supposed to think watching it.
Because Anakin's not there anymore.
Died of a broken heart. I mean, you got to think I feel like they both poured everything they had into being in love with each other, even though it was not supposed to. I guess it was supposed to happen, but it was like, what's the word? They shouldn't have, but they did anyways. And I feel like they poured all their energy into it, and things were trying to pull them apart at every turn, and it finally got to the point where, they gave everything they had. Anakin basically died and came back, and then Padme actually died.
Yeah. I guess my thought about it is, even if Anakin, it's all substantial. Like, you talk about the scene where Mace Windu he's too dangerous to be left alive. Let's say that Anakin stands there and says, "You're right. Fucking kill him." Well, I guess it's the dichotomy that, like, he's doing this to save her, but in doing it, it kills her. So, like, have the power to save the one that you love. You do have that power. It's don't fucking follow me, as Sidious saying that.
That's the trick, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, you do have it. Just don't be a douchebag and kill younglings. It's not that hard, Anakin, but you're going down a path I can't follow.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. No, we've talked about that. It's like every time there's a Force vision that's bad, people try to work against it, and in working against it, they cause it to happen. Every time it pops up.
Yeah, it makes it worse, like in trying to prevent something. It's... You
materialize it.
Well, it's like you're trying to prevent fate, and it's gonna happen. And that's kind of how I feel like, even if somehow Anakin was able to kill Sidious, I feel like he would have done it in rage and still fell to the dark side. Like, there's so many aspects that I think regardless, Anakin's going to the dark side. Darth Vader is inevitable.
Inevitable.
Just like Thanos.
Yes. Darth Vader versus Thanos.
Unfortunately, Thanos doesn't have the asthma issue, so.
That's true.
And Thanos went toe-to-toe with Hulk.
I feel
he has magic powers, so it's impossible to beat Thanos.
I feel like Vader could just yank the stones out of the gauntlet with the Force. Don't you think?
I don't know.
Are you seriously considering this?
Look, I want to say Vader, but Thanos can clap.
That chin don't play, man.
Vader cannot disappear. Like, Thanos can do whatever the fuck he wants. Thanos can stop time. Like, it's impossible to beat him.
Is there an Infinity Stone that controls midichlorians?
Now, the one person that could beat Thanos would be Sidious.
Because he would have planned 20 years in advance.
Yep.
Like, oh, Thanos is coming. I'm just gonna. Yeah.
The only way you can beat Thanos, because you're not gonna out battle him. You're not gonna. I mean, he's got too much at his fucking fingertips, literally. That you just have to outsmart him. You got to outthink him, and Sidious would be the one to do it.
Smart too, though.
I know, but Sidious is just smart enough to get past that Thanos brick.
Yeah, I reckon.
Sidious is. He's the perfect enemy. He really is. He turns everything upside down just with words. And it's also cool about the Labyrinth of Evil, with the puppet mastering of the war and playing both sides, because he's like face to face yelling at Yoda like, "This isn't gonna go well for the Jedi, you motherfucker." And Yoda's like, "Well, we're trying." So, but it's like playing both sides is so smart, and the way he manipulates the war, manipulates the Senate, then manipulates the Jedi. Mm-hmm. And it's like, there was one point we need to keep Anakin and Obi-Wan away from Coruscant for a little bit for whatever reason. And he's like, "I got it handled.
Grievous is over there.
Hey, Grievous, just go this way."
Yeah, go far away.
It's really not that hard.
Lead them on a chase. Yeah.
But the way he can manipulate it, because he's basically, they give him emergency powers until the war is over. But because he's controlling the war's never going to be over. Like, even with the Jedi basically winning the war slowly, he's still able to, he's always allowed to stay one step ahead.
Yeah.
He knows what the Jedi are doing.
Right. But the Jedi wouldn't have let him keep emergency powers. That's the whole point. That's why he had to bring him down.
I know, but Anakin would. That's the issue. And Anakin's going to tell Sidious everything. Palpy. He's going to tell Palpatine everything.
That's the whole point of that scene, though, in Revenge of the Sith, is like Anakin is conflicted between does he choose Palpatine over the Jedi Council. And it's only because Padme is in the mix and Palpatine says that he can help her is the fact that he chooses to go with Sidious over the Jedi Council. Yeah. I just thought of Game of Thrones correlation. It's just so interesting how it's always the main characters in these books, but like the more powerful characters or more powerful families or the higher ups basically are using the entire population to manipulate things for their own control. Like in Star Wars, it's Palpatine and the CIS and Dooku and the Grand Army of the Republic and everything. And in Game of Thrones, it's the Lannisters and the Starks and the entire Northern Army and the Southern Army and Dorne and the Tyrells and all that stuff. So much crossover.
What's kind of funny is in both examples, the everyday goon on the ground, it doesn't affect them directly at all. All it affects is the people at the top.
Yeah.
Like you're looking at like a Han Solo. Who gives a shit if the Imperials are a part of it or if the Republic's part? They're both spice running's illegal. I'm both going to be arrested. They're both going to stop me.
Right.
So it's like fuck them. Let them squabble at the top and do whatever the fuck they want. Same thing in Game of Thrones. Like the people that are farming out in the fields, all the Lannisters took over. You're like, okay, I didn't know.
Yes, can I sell you some ale? It doesn't matter. I just need to fucking provide support for my family.
I mean,
and I like how deep they explore that in Game of Thrones, though, because it's rare that happens. It's mostly like they keep focus on those main characters, but especially in the books in Thrones, they really explore how the common man is like. Yeah, like I don't care if it's Stark or if it's Lannister or if it's Baratheon. I'm just trying to, keep my inn alive and bake bread and make ale and not die.
Bang the whores.
And bang some whores.
Yeah. I think it's to mobilize a population is quite a thing to do because people live their lives. They don't care who's at the top. They really don't. On your day-to-day life.
They care who is directly above them.
True. Sometimes.
And then it stops. Well, I'm thinking just thrones.
Yeah.
Like who's your liege lord? Like everyone is dedicated to the person that's directly above them, and they don't necessarily care who is king.
They're
but
loyal.
Then once you get high enough up, those people are dedicated directly to the royal family, and that's where things get dicey.
Yep.
So.
It's a game of ideals. That's all it is.
Yes.
Loyalties.
Yes.
Broken loyalties.
Game of thoughts. Yes.
Game of tits.
I don't believe you.
Don't believe you.
I'm going to go watch Attack of the Clones, maybe.
You won't get through it.
I won't, but I'll start it.
I'll push that
play button, at least.
That the dangling fruit at the end is the fun stuff when the clone wars have begun, but you have to get through the droid machinery place area where
I could just fast forward.
Oh yeah, you better.
Begun the Clone Wars have.
Jesus, that is what is the single worst scene in Star Wars?
In all of Star Wars? That's actually a really hard question to ask. And to answer.
Mean, the one that always comes to mind is the droid factory in episode 2. It's the cringiest, dumbest. It doesn't add anything. Like Padme is rolling around in I don't even know what's going on. None of this matters.
Giant tubs of molten lava. Yeah. I remember
so weird.
Not hating it quite as much last time I saw it. But of course you don't sit there and just go like, "Oh yeah, this is like high quality." Damn, man. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff on Tatooine in episode 4 that I just like fucking why are we here?
Canto Bite. still comes to mind. It's
Canto Bite's fine. It's just the horse chase. It's just the horse chase. I
there's
love
a
the
lot
casino. I love the guards. I love those are the shuttle parkers guy. All that's fine. It's just the horse chase that I hate. That's when in the theater you go take a piss and get another beer.
yeah, it's the comedy that's forced into that casino when like that drunk alien puts coins into BB-8, and then
I love that. That's Mark Hamill's little alien droid character.
and then 3 minutes later he's using it as ammo to get DJ out. I'm like, did we need that?
Did we need Star Wars at all?
Everything with Rose, that's what comes to mind. We need to get her out of the movies.
I hate actors.
I tell you what.
No more actors in Star Wars. CGI only.
Yeah, only puppets. I want it to be Muppets in space.
Yes. Directors and puppets only.
I was thinking, I listened to our last episode when we were talking about like set design and costumes and, all the design and the art behind it.
Yeah.
And it really just, episode 1 holds like a spot in my heart because of how different it is.
So good.
Like the designs, the set designs, the planet designs, the aliens. Like Sebulba is one of the coolest characters I have ever seen. He plays such a small role.
Yeah.
But it's so believable. It's so unique. The pod racer pilots, all unique, so cool. They have their own like,
the people bring out their own flags before the race.
dude, there's so much culture built into this race.
Every driver and also their pod like kind of represents them.
Yeah, their pod is like a representation of their species, of what they're doing.
Yeah.
There's so much, and there's so much color and culture,
good.
and it's the droids are different. It's just
All I have to do,
episode 1.
all I have to see is a card from that old game of like Mas Amedda or Rick Ollier or something, and I'm just transported back. I'm just transported back to 1999.
Yeah, I think it's a stark difference. What we were talking about, the set design and the artistry behind it.
This motherfucker right here. All I have to do is see that card, and I'm 11 years old again.
It's true.
The whole the whole vibe of Phantom Menace is iconic.
Yeah,
Damn, Jerry.
it's cool, man. And I didn't really realize it, but even saying it in the last episode, how Lucas kept it pretty close knit with designing the original trilogy. Everything was kind of like gray, and I know he did green in episode 6 and white in episode 5 with color schemes, but man, you go back to episode 1 and it's just vibrant. There's so much on screen in a good way in many aspects. Look at that little boy Anakin. I have all those cards still.
I'm so jealous.
I like how there's 3 queens. You can play as Padme or the queen or the queen.
Yeah, you got Padme, and Padme. Which one do you want?
I like
insists.
Padme without her robes is actually stronger than the queen robes ones.
Yeah, those fucking robes weigh you down, man. They may be bulletproof, but geez, at what cost?
At what cost? Your maneuverability and your will to live.
Exactly. Now we're back to squadrons. What do those upgrades actually cost you? Let's think about it. Put those stats together, Padme. Jesus.
Yeah.
I love Phantom Menace, man.
That's probably what I'm gonna tune up and tune into tonight.
We have claimed in the past 20 minutes that we're going to watch Solo and Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace all in the same evening.
I choose Phantom Menace. I actually haven't sat down and watched that one. Also, you know what? I might actually put in episode 3.
I was going to say, yeah, and we were talking about Labyrinth of Evil, so like episode 3's in the docket as well. We got to watch 4 movies tonight.
I got 12 hours of shit to do and about 7 here, so we got to get it done. I guess step 1, I'm going to try to finish Labyrinth of Evil, and then if I'm still up for it and in a Star Wars mood, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do episode 1 because that pod race scene I need to see tonight.
So good.
I like the extended version of the pod race scene also, by the way.
Absolutely.
It was a little more kaboom. Kind of like in Batman, where he does the shield thing and he asks the girl how much she weighs. So they go up into the rafters against the purple cars, and the Joker people come out. And the guy with the samurai swords, where he screams and Michael Keaton kicks him in the head. Remember?
Michael Keaton. I don't remember what you're talking about.
That's in the first. It's a
He asked
car
her how
chase
much
with the
she weighs?
Batmobile.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he shoots like a grappling hook, and he's like, "How much do you weigh?" She's like, 90 pounds. He's like, "Yeah,
90?
sure, bitch, sure, bitch." And then he like grapples her up above the battles.
Also, are you planning on rescuing people with the grappling hook? If so, why would you only add an extra 100 pounds to your weight limit?
I know. There's like fish line out there that can hold like 300 pounds. We got to save the poundage on our lines here.
What if you have to rescue a man? What are you going to do then? They're heavier. Yep, sorry, bro.
At this point, it's younglings and women only. Light women.
Alfred fucked up this grappling hook. You have to stay. Bye.
You have to stay.
Good luck.
One at a time.
The Joker won't hurt you that bad.
Dude.
Just make
I'm going to watch Batman tonight, too.
I was just going to say, I'm going back to Fanboy Commentary, Batman Original, 1989.
That's one of my favorite commentaries that we did. That original Batman, I was like, oh my
Colgate.
God. It smelled like
Colgate.
lavender, bitch.
Colgate.
All right, guys. Good day, Galaxy. I thank you for hearing us rant and rave about absolutely nothing. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Episode
230. I actually matched your pitch there. That was impressive. 239 we're at, guys. 239. Make sure you tell your friends. Also, thank you. Now we can say it for the first time live on the air. Thanks to our newest patron and member of the squadron, Rural Farm Boy.
World's been around for a while. It's about time.
Welcome to the clan, my guy.
Definitely appreciate it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully I'll read a book. Good day, Galaxy.
Hopefully I'll read a book. Hopefully I remembered how to read. No promises.
Then I tried to read.
Lieutenant Dan reading.
Turn this shit
Cody
off.
RSP. All right, friends. Farm Boy. Seriously though, join the WhatsApp group. Otherwise, you're getting no benefits, and that would make me feel bad. So please join WhatsApp. Cheers.